I just came back from a crazy trip to Ottawa, and I always struggle with these stories because the joke that I say on the road is that so many doors have opened now that I can't tell anybody what's going on. And so that's where the story ends. And like, what are we supposed to say now? But what I can say is, I know so many of us, we're seeing what's happening in the world right now. We're seeing major shifts, both good and bad. And me, myself, like I'm watching the news, I'm seeing what's going on. I'm traveling a lot. I see where there's questioning, I see where there's struggles, I see where, God, what are you doing with the whole shift of power that's happening in all the different nations, like with Brexit, with Donald Trump getting elected, with even what's happening in Canada, with all these different things, what's going on. And I always tell people everywhere I go that we need to pray for the Daniels to be released, from Daniel chapter 1, verse 20, where it said that Daniel and his buddies, they had a gifting that was 10 times as strong as any of the most known spiritualists or spirit readers, or whatever, fill in the blank with all that kind of stuff. So I'm always praying for that. So this last trip to Ottawa was unique because instead of just preaching about it, that's where I love that I'm actually doing it, you know. And I can't share what's going on, but what I can share is I know for a fact, because I'm the one doing it, that that the prophetic word is being spoken to the places that most need it, and that actual spiritual revelation and spiritual wisdom is being placed in systems and in, I don't know what the right word would be. Systems, I guess, is the best way to say it. Systems and procedures or powers or groups, whatever you want to say, which directly involve you and me. You know, and not just you and me in Canada, but you and me in many, many different areas of the world, which is fascinating. So I just, like, with that part of the testimony, I love being able to share that. Just like, keep praying for this stuff. Keep praying for me. Keep praying for our nations. Keep praying for the people that are governing our countries, because they're asking for prophetic revelation. And I know they're asking for the prophetic revelation because I'm walking with them. You know, they're wanting this stuff. They're seeking it out. They're desiring it. And it is our job as a church and as kingdom believers to go and actually give them something that is value. And I think that makes sense. So a cool example of something that just happened in Ottawa was, how many days ago? Yesterday. I think it was yesterday, which doesn't mean anything because the time's not going to be right for this video. But recently, we'll say on the video, in Canada we had the election of the next leader of the official opposition, which is a really, really big role in our nation's power system, in our nation's governing system. It's the second highest, technically the second highest ranking member in government. And I went into Parliament because I love going to the Parliament just to go, we go as a tour, you know, and I know some people there who can take us not on the usual tour, but we can say, I want to go to this place, I want to go to this place, I want to go to this place. So we did that. So we went into the office of the leader of the official opposition, which was cool. And there was just a small group of us there, some significant pastors from the nation and other different leaders and myself. And we realized that we're in the boardroom of the leader of the official opposition, you know, and just so we started praying and praying and praying that the Lord would select the right person, and that, well, not even that the Lord would select, because that comes out wrong, but that the right person would be elected, you know, that whoever it is, because I think there's a pool of 13 or 14 different people who are running for the election. We were just praying, God, get the right person in office, get the right person in office. We're praying for that. And then it was not even a couple of days later, and I realized this when I came home, a couple of days later, the election actually happened. And I realized, isn't this strange? Like, we're in there, in the actual office, and then 2 days later is the actual election. And so the election came through, and it was one of those weird things. I'm not going to say it was a Lord, but it was interesting because I don't understand how the election process works, but somebody else was in power, or somebody else was the number one ballot for 12 rounds of voting. And on the final round of voting, another person got it, who a lot of the people in the party and a lot of people that I know personally were very, very excited that this particular person got in. So interesting, but I just love how that works. You know, you put yourself in the right place at the right time, and you just find yourself uniquely in these positions. And I was just wondering that the other day, just isn't it cool how we can operate in secret, we can operate hidden. And I know this, that me and God is a majority. And just like everybody watching this, you and God is a majority. We don't need 50 million people to be praying for something. We just need somebody whose heart is truly devoted to the Lord. And that's the attitude and the position that we went in there. We prayed and we knew that maybe we're going to be 5 people that shift the nation. Maybe we're 5 people that are going to help shift the party. And then for the other stuff that we're praying in, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, we are praying into something that has global ramifications and is being set up in the nation right now. And I know that our prayers are not going to return void. So it was a really, really cool trip to go on. And I was very, very excited that we could do this again. I'm sad that I don't have any videos or pictures for you guys, but I'm not allowed to do it on these trips. So just imagine, yay. But yeah, it's very, very cool. One of the days, I'm just going to start dreaming again, but one day I want to be able to bring in people into Parliament with me and just set up office and just bathe that place in consistent prayer and find people who can hear from the Lord and prophesy. And what would happen if we just all got released through the halls of Parliament? Daniel, he operated in a level of prophetic wisdom and spiritual wisdom and in power, literally, that it's said that because of that, he got audience with the king. He got audience with all of these guys. And the king said that your wisdom is so much better. I don't want to listen to the prophets of Baal. I don't want to listen to my soothsayers and all that. I love the different translations. I don't want to listen to the spiritualists and all that kind of stuff. He said, I want to listen to you because it's so much better. And it says that Daniel's wisdom was consistently right, and it was so much better that that's what gave him the position of authority to influence all these different kings. And so for me, that's what I mean when I say we're walking in as a Daniel. I'm walking in through the open door, and people know these testimonies all over the world now. Every time I'm in Ottawa, I will always get 1 or 2 dreams that are always right. And they're word of knowledge level dreams for what's going on, and I can deliver them to the right place and to the right person. And so I love being able to do that, and I feel like I'm walking in the shoes of one of my heroes, in the shoes of Daniel. Here's a dream that I had, here's the information I had, here's the revelation I have, and now I'm going to use it to gain audience with the king and to gain favor to make sure that heaven's wisdom is applied in Canada's policy, for example, and so that it will benefit the entire nation.